You're listening to Modern Male Radio with Jerod Zavistoski and Sydney Hall, right here on LA Talk Radio.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Jerod Zavistoski, and you're listening to Modern Male Radio. This is all the stuff your mama should have told you and the shit your daddy never knew. And as always, my co-host with me tonight, Sydney Hall.
What's up, party people out there? Modern Male Radio.
And picking up where we left off last time, we invited special guest Jesse Sink back into the studio and his lovely girlfriend, Paulina.
Yeah.
Okay,
all
awesome. Glad to have you guys. And
Thank you.
Let's pick up right where we left off. So you were burned, you were on a train, and it sucked.
Yeah,
Go from there. Go.
A little bit more than that. Right?
I think you got it covered. It sucked. No, so I woke up
Just
on top
recap. Yeah, just recap a little bit
Yeah,
for
I'll
the
recap
new
a little
listeners
bit
out
for you
there.
guys.
Okay.
I woke up on the catwalk of a train and, trying to get off of it, still delusional from the drugging that I was experiencing from the bar. And
So you got drugged at a bar.
yeah, I got drugged at a bar and woke up and tried to grab a hold of a 13,800 volt.
Almost got date raped, instead got train raped.
Right. He's got lines for everything. I love this.
Right, Mr.
Going
Love.
on
It's like
with
he's
the
got
left
a roof view
and
and
the right.
the train. It all makes sense. He's got it figured out. So I grabbed hold of the 13,000 volt 800 volt rod wire line and tried to step off of it, and clearly that didn't work. Ended up killing me. I ended up in a coma for 2 months.
So when you say killing you, you were dead for how long?
Yeah, I was dead. I can't tell you for how long, but probably.
Well, yeah, right. You
know,
probably
The electrical cord stopped your heart,
Tell me how long
restarted
you were
it.
dead
yeah,
for.
Yeah. Like I didn't time it. Like I'm out.
That's crazy. It like killed you and then defibrillated you at the same time,
It
which
did.
is
It did.
amazing.
Honestly, the given time between that was probably like 3 to 5 minutes. Like it's not very long. It's very short.
That's a long
I
time
don't,
to
I
be
don't
dead.
know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It
In
is.
dead time, I don't know if that's
That's longer than
long
I
or
want to
short.
be dead.
It is. It is. Like I don't know what dead time is
Right,
on
dead
that,
time,
but that's what we got.
short.
So,
Dead time. 3 minutes of dead time could be like 1,000 years. You never know, right?
he's like a time turned back here.
Well, because you know, like right before, like when you have a near-death experience, time slows down, and they say it feels like an eternity. So
It does actually. It slows down. Like when I died,
Yeah.
like you have things that go through your mind. You like your whole life like escapes in front of you.
So
And-
5 minutes of dead time probably
So
felt like 5
minutes
years.
of dead time is like you got like a couple 3 years.
Yeah, it's like
just
5 years.
So
you're
you
like
actually
feeling
remember
like-
all that when you're
Yeah.
you go through that process?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pure memory. It's all there.
I can't even remember what I did yesterday. I don't.
Just die once, you'll remember. No, don't do that.
Right? No, I'll try not to.
So I end up in a coma for 2 months, and spend 2 months trying to walk, talk, and breathe again. Truthfully, like I had to learn the whole thing over again. And so the problem with me was trying to like realize what's my purpose, like what's happening, because you end up in a model in New York and you have these whole dreams in front of you, and it's wiped out. It's done.
Yeah.
Priorities, purpose,
So-
and principle. What are they? The 3 Ps.
And you got to figure out like, well, what's your purpose again? What are you going to do? Like, what's going to happen? And for the next 3 years, I'm going through surgeries, pretty intense surgeries, skin grafting and things like that. So for me to actually try to visualize that was almost incapable. Like I'm just like living through the moment,
Yeah.
trying to deal with the extensive recovery and the time that I have on my hands and waste it. Like, what are you going to do? I have like 4 years of surgeries. What are you going to do with that time? Are you going to, like do something with it, or are you going to waste it away? Like I had nothing to do. Like I can't even work at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So for
You're
me
on
to- for
pain
me-
pills and you're on pain medication and stuff. So you
you're
can't, it's
an
not like you can really.
Yeah, it's like 4 years of oxymoron. You're
Yeah,
just
you
like
can't
oxymoron.
retain information. You can't read stuff.
Yeah,
You can't do anything that would actually like involve cognitive function, right?
Right.
No, it's ridiculous.
And
So-
for the, where we left
sucks.
off last time was your struggle to get through it, your ups and downs, and how you came out of it. I'm glad that you had your girlfriend here, the 4th P, right? And the 4th P in your life. How was it for you? Well, or were you with them? Like when did you get this guy?
No.
At what point did you get this guy?
We met 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
He was my personal trainer.
Oh, okay.
I know that's a big no-no, but for us has been a big yes.
And what state was he in at the point you met him?
He was doing he was doing very good, like, and I quote that because he seemed to be doing fine. And then for some reason we started to connect and talk a little deeper about ourselves, and I realized how hard the accident has been on him. I had no idea, honestly. I think that's the biggest lesson that I get out of this. I just saw a personal trainer. I had no idea who Jesse was or what was he doing before he came down here. And understanding and realizing that he lost everything, literally everything, a career. You know, when he told me, oh, I used to be a model in New York. This is going to sound creepy, but I was kind of a stalker. So I go on Google. And I put,
Most people do
Most
that.
people do
like,
that.
I gotta see.
You were what? Okay.
and I put Jesse Sink
Yeah.
model. And I was like, he was a model, you know?
Right.
Like, you can see the professional pictures
You know what the great thing about women is, and a lot of people don't know this, but women do, but women never communicate this kind of stuff with guys. And this is the really important stuff. So like for a woman, right, the second she gets to know you, your burn stuff doesn't even matter. And you know how many girls have actually heard say this exact phrase, his face could burn off and I wouldn't even notice. Because of how they feel about you, it overweighs how you look so much. And then another thing is...
Yeah, look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. No, I'm just joking.
I was just trying to.
But another really
Not
interesting
joking, but
thing
joking, right?
for our viewers out there is that the idea that, like, this is kind of awesome. So you were in, you had all those model pics back then. When correct me if I'm wrong, but when you go back and you go on the internet and you look at those pictures, every time you look at him, you see that Calvin Klein model, don't you?
Honestly, I didn't.
Oh,
No. And I am going to be completely
Do you see
honest.
the inner Calvin Klein model?
No.
You see any Calvin Klein?
Because before he told me he was a model, one day, can I say this? I saw him very down, and I asked him, "What's wrong with you?" And he said, "I'm just not having a good day." And I asked him, "Can I give you a hug?" I always like when I'm sad, if someone hugs me, I feel better. And he said, "Yeah, sure." And I asked him, "What's going on?" And he kind of told me what was going on. And that day, I asked him, "Can I ask you what happened in your arm?" I am very shy, and I don't know how uncomfortable it is for him to talk about his accident. So he told me, and he told me, I just, I got electrocuted. And I was like, "What were you doing?" And then he says the whole thing. And I was like, "What are you doing in New York? Were you born there?" And he's like, "No, I was modeling." So I knew the accident first, and then I realized he was a model.
Okay.
So
that might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
But-
And by that time, we have been like talking to each other for about 6-8 months. So I kind of knew his sense of humor, his jokes. We talked a little bit.
So who asked who out first?
Okay.
I did.
You asked him out. You asked him out. Wow. Okay.
Wow. Look at you.
I mean, hey.
Modern woman radio.
Pimping ain't easy. It ain't easy.
And
Wow.
okay, and doing that, how did that make you feel? I'm not sure where you were at that point in your life. If if it was still an up and down, if you were harboring things inside still about your accident. But a woman, I've never been asked out by a woman, but a woman asking you out, obviously a beautiful woman. How did that make you feel?
It goes to show that we are the worst critic of ourselves.
Yeah.
Honestly, like we demasculate, humiliate, and honestly criticize ourselves the worst we can. And truthfully, what we create in our mental physicality for ourselves is not how other people. It's a false image of what we have accepted for ourselves. Truthfully,
And that's huge
and
for all of
I'm gonna tell you that shows up. Like if I was an insecure individual, and I went to the gym and I was like really shy about my situation, do you really think people want to come up to me and talk to me?
Right.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
No, of course not. But if you walk in, you own who you are. I worked at LA Fitness as a personal trainer for 6 months when I first moved here 3 years ago. I had people that walked up to me and said, "Hey, there's this guy that said you have a fake arm. This is a joke, right?" And like, I had a long sleeve shirt on. And he's like joking around about it. I'm like, "Actually, it's true." And he goes, "Dude, I am so sorry." I'm like, "No, it's not a problem." They don't realize that because how you carry yourself is truly how the world perceives you.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and it's funny because when I
So-
saw you the first time, you were pumping out weights like I've never seen anybody. I was sitting there and I was like, damn, that's a lot of weight. I didn't notice it at first, and
Right.
then I looked and I'm like, is that a fucking fake arm? Like,
Yeah.
you're just sitting there like hammering it out, and I'm like, wow, hold on, I almost took a picture of you without you knowing, and
Jared's
I was
like, "I gotta leave. I can't be here."
yeah, no, it made me feel. I was like, wow. So the next
Yeah.
time I'm feeling lazy, I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I wasn't. When I was living in South Africa, I went to this gym, and always saw, you know what I'm saying, another American guy, another black American guy out there. You know, he's older, but he's, you know, crazy pushing out, always pushing out. Not, you know, you're talking about for months and months I'm in the same gym with him. Then he disappears for a while. I kind of notice it because I noticed, you know, the older American guy is not there. And then he comes back, and for some reason I started looking at his foot. And I'm like, hold up, something's different. And he had his leg amputated.
Holy shit.
And he came back. I'm like, really, his workout didn't change. You know, he kind of came back, and I just saw the older American guy working out again. I was like, okay, he's back working out.
Pushing it out.
But, you know, as I'm working out, I think I was laying on the ground doing some sit-ups. And I kind of just saw the way I noticed it because I saw his pants leg kind of flap around a little bit. A little bit looser.
Right.
And I was like, wow, he's amputated. And for me, nothing changed in his mind.
Yeah.
You know, he walked in this with the same, you know, he's a very confident guy. You could tell he's probably into some, you know, some high-powered business. You know, he just had that, you know, I'm a businessman type walk, and just the same attitude.
Yeah.
And just looking around him, none of the, you know,
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed. The attitude around him and towards him didn't change at all either.
Right.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, your inner attitude matters so much, and I talk about that all throughout the book. And it all starts there with that mental stuff. You wouldn't believe how many people feel like they're at a disadvantage because of something that's so infinitesimal and minuscule. It's something that doesn't even matter. And they work it up in their mind. Like, I've met girls that, I mean, until they got a nose job, which they didn't need, it was life altering. And I've met people I've met so many people. I think, in fact, it's hard to say who I haven't met that doesn't have something about them that they think is just life altering and
whether
so
it's
hindering.
acne or you know, it depends on.
And it's so true that how you see yourself, how you present yourself, how you go look.
Yeah.
And it's not even organic. You don't have to actually see yourself as like this awesome person yet. You can start pretending, and eventually, if you pretend enough, it'll stick. You go, you know what? I don't want to be like this. I am going to choose to see myself in that way because I want to be that way. So maybe it'll fucking rub off.
Right.
And it
Fake
does.
it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the textbook definition.
But also, I talked about, you know, last year I talked to Jesse about, you know, putting yourself around people that normalize the situation.
Yeah.
You know, and really not, you know, not treating you any different. You know, make you feel normal, make you feel like, hey, you know, yeah, you got something on you, but you know everyone does. But you got to keep on pressing forward.
That's a big one.
They don't make it an issue.
Yeah.
And that's very important.
Somebody was always saying,
yourself.
"Hey, Jesse, are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah,
you want me to do
right.
this for you?
You know, do I need to do this for you? Do I need to pick this up for you? You know, that's not normalizing. That's
I'm sure
that's
she doesn't do that.
Making you think about the
see?
situation a lot more.
I'm actually impressed of how many things he can actually do without an arm. Like,
me too.
Yeah. Like, my car goes
Well,
wrong.
you can win Olympics without legs.
Yeah.
The guy Pretorius from South Africa.
He can do everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I think didn't they make a rule that was actually unfair because the legs were creating a spring thing?
Yeah.
And they're like,
running?
Yeah.
The guy sprinting out. He's like, that's unfair because it's giving a shot put. I'm like, you have two legs. Shut up.
It's like a gazelle out there, right?
Right. Exactly. Like, that is true, though. They actually had a couple people that was like, the spring actually in the foot gives them a lead head.
Yeah.
They're trying to ridicule him for it. I'm like, come on.
Right, come on.
Get over it.
Get over it, right?
Give them their moment.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So, what were you just saying?
Well, I would like, you know, we know the situation. We know kind of your ups and downs. Where is Jesse at now? You know, where is Jesse at now going forward?
Jesse is at a point right now where, honestly, I am trying to get my motivational speaking on track, trying to get my film that I've written and get it produced and copied through Hollywood Films. It's an incredible story.
That's right. It's your life story on a
It's
screenplay,
an
right?
incredible story. It's a life story, and I know that, you know, once we get that produced, like it will honestly shake the root of Hollywood and the core of the world by its roots. Like, people will see this and go, holy crap, this person did this. Like, what is my excuse truly? So that's one of the things we're doing. I have my own company that I work with, Rock Solid Nutrition, and I'm working with that as a mentor and coach, nutrition coach with that. So, you know, there's things going on there's much bigger things in the future. It takes time to create that, so you have to be patient and keep pushing it. But that's what I'm working on, truthfully. So
Awesome.
Do we still have our moments?
oh yeah, I'll always have moments. It's human nature. Like, you always have your times, your moments, your struggles, and truthfully, how you deal with those is what makes it up.
And how do
So
you deal with?
I have to keep the big picture ahead. Like, look at where I'm going, honestly.
Yeah.
I have to focus on where I'm at ahead. Because if I lose vision of that, it's right to now, and it doesn't work. I have to stay focused on where I'm at.
Well, and it's
Where you're going?
Yeah, where I'm at, where I'm going, what I've worked for, and what I have created. Because I've made I've made big tracks here in the past 2.5 years. Truthfully, we've created a Hollywood film that has ranked 7.9 out of 10 in the best inspirational films in Hollywood. So for that not to happen would be my own disgust. So I've got to work with my writer and producer and keep that moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's only going to happen if you make it happen. It's not going to happen itself. So.
Yeah, and the sad part is, no matter what you go through, God never feels the need to say, "Oh, hey, oh shit, dude, sorry, I owe you. Let me fix this for you."
It doesn't work that way.
No, it's like, "Hey, you went through some bullshit. Guess what? Now you can lift really heavy weights. So now I'm gonna put you in a bigger arena where you're gonna have to fight harder, and we're gonna still make you go, and you're gonna have to fight for everything you ever want in life, motherfucker."
Exactly.
Put you in a bigger tank.
Yeah.
With bigger fish.
Take
Right?
a bigger fish and bigger, bigger, yep.
But I mean,
Exactly. So,
it seems like that's the purpose of life. I mean,
yeah.
that's
Life is like a heart monitor, man. It's up and down.
Yeah.
If it was straight, you'd be dead. So
look at you coming up with the lines. That's great.
Inspirational Lines by Jesse Sink.
You got
Next is the inspirational book, right?
Well, it's interesting.
Inspirational quotes.
It's interesting that ambition allows people to transcend what's going on in their life at the moment. And I've been reading a lot and listening a lot to stuff on that. And it's funny because it's proposed by a lot of gurus that ambition is actually kind of a negative facility. A lot of gurus would say, be here, be in the now, center yourself. What makes a person that, I think it was Wayne Dyer. He said, what makes a person that, sits outside and eats guava all day and does nothing better or worse than a person who, goes and conquers the world and this and that. And it's just interesting because, so there's a development process. And I've been wondering a lot about this. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the idea of growth, because growth is painful. So it's interesting to me to think that because growth is painful, perhaps growth isn't something that we're supposed to be doing. Or is it? Or, what is the pain that's associated with growth, and why is that there? What do you guys think?
You know what? Growth is painful, but you have a great dream. You have a dream, you have an accomplishment that you're looking at. And if that dream is a hard task, you're going to have hardship through that. It's not going to come easy. You look at anybody that's created anything great and accomplished has had hard knocks in life.
Yeah.
So depending on the substantial climb of your dream and what you're creating is going to determine probably the hardship and outcome of that as well. So you're not going to have something that's completely huge and it's just going to be handed to you. Like, you're going to have to work for it. The universe is going to,
It's going to put out that weight set. Here's your obstacle course, motherfucker.
I'm glad you said you have to work for it, because I don't look, I think hardship or easyship is a matter of perspective. And, it's part of the language we use, and the language we're used to, these words that kind of don't mean anything. You have to work for things. But is it hard, or is it easy, or is it just work? Or is it something you just have to get done? Right. We put that into a hard or easy category because of the language we use, because of our perspective. Well, yeah. And I don't take it as that. I'm like, okay, and I've had manual labor days, and I woke up and I didn't look at it as like, okay, this is gonna be a hard day. It's just I just looked at it as like, this is something I have to get through today. This is some work I have to accomplish today, and I just powered through it, and it made it easier on my mind.
Yep.
And easier. Well,
no, it's totally like I was totally gonna elaborate on that with the mindset is everything. Sometimes what you say, when you're like, hey, I want to do this, the universe throws out your weight set, you start working through your weight set, your obstacle course, and then you become better at this thing. Well, I've gone to the gym, and I'm sure you've gone to the gym on days when it just nothing you do works, and you're just pissed off all day, and you keep stubbing your toe and not getting the right weight up, and you're frustrated and you're angry, and you're like, why does today suck? And it's a mindset going into it, you know? Or days when you finish and you're like, holy shit, I'm done.
It's
I'm
the
done with
mind-
my workout.
Right. It's the mindset you go into it, but we always have to remember how we look back at it too. You know, like hindsight is 20/20. Whenever I look back on something, I'm like, you know what though? It wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hard. So I always go into life thinking how I would look back on it also.
So
it's
I
kind of twofold thing, you know?
Yeah.
I
It
think
helps-
the
it
purpose
helps
of
my
life
mindset.
is to basically eliminate the bitch out of you, right? It's reverse bitch osmosis. That's what life is. You're put in here as a child, and it goes, we're gonna take the bitch out of you. Okay, we're gonna push you, we're gonna squeeze you, and someday you're gonna take full responsibility and full control for your life. That is the purpose of life. What do you think?
I totally agree with it.
Yeah?
Yep. Yeah, but I don't like to think about it as impossible or hard. I like to use the
Right.
word challenge instead.
It's a challenge,
Because
yeah.
when I put it as a challenge, then it becomes exciting to do it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It becomes a journey. And we do have very, very hard days, but what I like to do personally at the end of the day is just write down, and I literally write down what I did throughout the day. What I did that is leading me towards my ultimate goal.
What
And
is your ultimate goal?
right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell
Can I
us.
actually say?
Yeah.
You can.
Talk it.
Get my O1 visa as a performer in the United States.
What is that?
Well,
I'm an
kind of
actress.
work permit.
I'm an actress, exactly. It's a work permit. I am here on a student visa.
Oh, okay.
So my ultimate goal, as for today, is to get that visa.
Dun, 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 dun,
No.
dun.
I think
I wasn't gonna go there.
I think
I've
if,
seen this scenario before.
if Jesse and I can agree on something, is that none of us like to have things easily. And honestly, I respect whomever is out there doing that. We respect it, but I
Well, it's
don't
not
know.
worth anything if it comes really easy, right? You don't really respect it,
And
Or
honest-
and you don't take care of it.
And if I think about it, I didn't move here to find a guy and marry him and
Yeah,
then
but you
become a
did.
citizen.
And I'm going to leave this one alone. I like Jesse. I'm just going to shut the fuck
Put the
up.
ring on my hand.
I'm just saying, you know, you guys been together for 3 years. Y'all fucking. Like, I'm not going to make the situation any worse than it is. Change of subject.
You love her, make her life a little easier, right?
So you want to be an actress?
I am an actress.
You are an actress.
You are an actress.
Cool. So you're working right now?
Yep, I
Are you
am.
on a show or anything?
No. I do commercials.
Okay.
I speak Spanish, so what I do mostly is commercials in Spanish. If you watch Telemundo or Univision, I was actually in Chicago over
yeah,
Thanksgiving
you
shooting.
do look familiar. Habla español un poquito.
Yeah.
Sí, hablo
poco.
español.
There you go.
Yeah, I was actually in Chicago shooting another commercial for Univision over Thanksgiving. I
Sydney's
just
an
came
actor
back.
as well. I don't know if I told you that. Yeah, I don't think we ever announced that to the audience that Sydney Hall is actually an actor. And you.
We have actually.
We have.
Yeah.
We have.
In one of the intros.
One of the intros. I think I only ever introed you once.
Yeah, that was the time
Yeah.
you told.
I was like,
told
actor.
everybody, actor, model.
He's done a little bit of everything, guys. No, but you did. You got a show coming up here.
Yeah, got a show coming out on Bravo.
Next.
Awesome.
We're actually gonna do a special setup for this one. When is it coming out?
It's premieres on January 12th, 2015, Monday, January 12th. And they have the trailers out for it now, commercials running.
Where can people
It's
find
called
it?
Friends to Lovers on Bravo.
There you go. There you go.
And it's based on, basically, it's a reality show. It's 5 couples, best friends, and they're this social experiment to see if best friends can become lovers.
Uh-oh.
I think everyone has had a best
Yeah.
friend that they kind of, wanted to get with. And this is the social.
That's
social,
called the friend zone.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is
That's
the
what
social
happens.
experiment that actually plays that.
Have you been
This is the social experiment that actually plays that out.
Zone?
Okay.
That actually plays that
That's
out.
interesting. So
Yeah.
but it's not getting out of the friend zone. It's let's just lift the guys of the friend zone and see if this would work.
Yeah, to see if it works.
That's
so.
interesting. So what night is what night is
It's
it?
Monday. Premieres Monday, January 12th. So it'll be on Monday. Every
Okay.
Monday
And then
for about 8
we're
weeks.
actually going to be doing a follow up for that. So every night, every Thursday night after the show,
Yes.
we're going to be following up with Sydney and the cast here. So starting January.
Some of the cast.
Some of the cast.
Some of the cast. Because some of the cast is here. Some of
The
the,
cast
actually,
that Sydney likes. The rest of y'all motherfuckers are staying home.
Some of them are in New York. Well,
Get
some
it
of the,
straight.
Some of the cast is in New York.
Oh,
And some of the cast was- So
okay.
I had 3 couples. 3 couples here. 2 couples in New York.
Okay. But we're going to be going through a lot of the social dynamics that
Yes.
are being touched upon in the show because it's actually a very thought-provoking show from what I've gotten of the synopsis.
Well, yeah, I'm like, like I said before, I think it's, everyone has had that friend they wanted to get with. And sometimes guys, actually make friends with a girl to actually get with her. So
Every
it takes
guy-
you- right.
every guy
every guy that has a female friend wants to get with her.
Yeah, no, and girls need to really realize that. And men we don't come off as manipulative. We're really not. But in that area, that's about the only time that we really like.
Are kind
If
of
you have a
manipulative.
dude friend, he wants to fuck you.
Right, he
Yes.
definitely does.
Oops.
If you have a dude friend, he's interested.
Yes.
Or he was interested or whatever, but he's not gonna hang out with you and get you shit and do stuff for you. Like, it's as simple as if he walks up and puts water next to you, it's not because he's caring. It's because he wants inside. Okay.
So
He really doesn't give a shit. He
So
just
in
wants
saying that, it's a very poignant topic in our society as we look at relationships between between males and females. Actually, no, there's a gay couple on it also. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So it just looks at relationships in general.
It's funny. I got a comment on that the other day from a friend of mine who read the book, and he goes, that's actually why I got rid of the intro in the beginning of the show, the long ass monologue, was because a gay friend actually approached me and said, hey, I think you should change that to men or women because I feel like your show touches on topics that I can relate to as well. And I was like, oh wow, I didn't realize that. So it's very interesting that we're coming to a place now where we're getting down to just it's no longer man and woman. It's masculine and feminine.
Yeah, we had was it Brian?
Yeah.
Brian.
We gotta have that guy back.
And he talks about just feminine and masculine energies, and rather
There's
than
guys with feminine energy and vice
right.
versa.
Well, rather than the shell that holds us, what really matters is the masculine and feminine energy that you hold. And that really proves true rather than kind of what you see on the outside these days.
Well, it's funny. We got into a little debate about that. He was like
Yeah.
on Facebook, and we were talking about it, and
It's a big debate.
he was like, oh, what matters most to women, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, you could, I think for you, starters, no more yellow jackets. And he was like, it was like sick burn. And then he comes back he's like, notice how nobody's saying that on this blog post. And I'm laughing about it because everybody's like, oh, a heart and da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, but why not? See, a lot of people think that there's this dichotomy where you have to go one or the other. It's either I dress nice or I'm internally spiritual and connected and grounded and I'm
And have to wear a smock everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like, no, there's both. Self-improvement is self-improvement. There's no like, oh, I'm going to improve here and I'm not going to improve here.
Right.
Like, why would you go out and work out just your arms?
Right. Exactly.
You'd be lopsided,
Yeah.
Did you guys
And
see
look
that?
and look like Popeye.
No, wait. Did you guys see that thing on the internet, that arm wrestler? And he had like right here was like huge and this whole arm was like massive and then his left arm was like really tiny.
Yeah.
So you know, worked out his right arm.
Yeah, because he was like an arm wrestler. So like all of this was like it was literally it's massive. It was like 3 times the size of his other arm, which looked like it was like atrophied.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Some tennis players suffer from that also. They suffer from a larger arm than the other one. But I've seen guys in the gym just work out, their upper body and
Yeah, all the time.
There's
All
so
the
many
time.
jokes
Like,
coming
Name
up
of
this way.
the film that they have.
Tasmanian devil looking
Yeah,
like Tasmanian devil.
Right, exactly.
I've been a creature of that.
They have like ILS, invisible lat syndrome. They work like, you know what I mean? They walk around.
Walk around just a big back. Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. Invisible lat syndrome.
Yeah.
Is that an acronym or did you just come up with
It's
that?
true.
No,
like,
it's
people,
true.
people do that a lot. They walk around the gym like their arms spread out. It's like, dude, you know.
But I had bad knees though. I had bad knees though.
Let your arms down.
That was my excuse. I had bad knees, so I couldn't work out my
Right.
legs. Right. That was my excuse. I really didn't, but I was like, everyone's like, well, you have a great body, but you should work out your legs sometimes. I was like, I got bad knees.
Well, I have a very good story for that. Tell him what you did right after surgery.
Oh, squats.
Yeah.
Lots of squats.
Yeah. But the same day he got off surgery, what did you do in your knees?
No, I didn't do squats on my knees the same day. Like I waited for like 4 or 5 days after my
4 or 5.
patella surgery, and I started doing
4 or
body
5
squats.
days,
I'm like,
right?
I'm like doing
Yeah.
body squats, and the doctor's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm
Well,
like,
it's interesting because when they say rest, and it's just all atrophy. But when you actually that was my Muay Thai instructor did the same thing. I broke my hand, and literally the day that cast came off, he goes, "Now go hit the bag." And it was I was still training. I had a broken hand, and I had to tie it behind my back, and I fought everybody one-handed. you know, and I got really good with my left hand, you know, and it's
Exactly.
it's crazy because like the
Stimulation.
that bitch exists in our mind. And I'm just gonna call it the bitch. It's like the fucking ghost in the machine
bitch.
or the devil or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you
The
want to call
nagging
it.
bitch.
No, it's actually not.
Sometimes it does nag you.
Yeah,
Sometimes it does nag. The nagging bitch.
fair enough. But I don't want to associate it with
It
nagging
comes up when
or
you just, you know,
derogatory things towards women. It just there's
I totally wasn't there.
yeah, I know,
It was,
but
just, it was actually the nagging.
I realized it could be
was
taken that
just-
way.
It was just the nagging bitch.
but
The self doubt is the nagging bitch.
that part of you that makes something matter that doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's horrible, and it's there. And
The nagging bitch.
The nagging
exactly.
bitch.
Make something was not there. Why is she keep doing this? There's nothing wrong.
But see,
She comes in this house and makes something out of nothing.
But see, it's automatically associated with women, which is why I was trying to like
Could be a
find
bitch, could be a man too.
Well, you said she, so that's why I'm trying to like get a better association of it. So where it's like, okay, we don't have
Thank
to
you.
pull that onto a girl.
Thank you.
So like, what can we name it that it doesn't? It's not
Doesn't have a
indicative of a
connotation.
woman.
Doesn't have that
Right.
connotation.
Yeah.
Just call it bitch.
That's what I said.
Just call it bitch.
I love
man.
how we come back to that.
Call it
Okay?
You always
bitch.
have to come back. Just call it bitch, man.
Okay, yeah. So I call it bitch made actually throughout the book. You know, the like lifting weights and being sore.
Well, everyone's bitch made, aren't we? No.
It's not even a wish word. We sure wish word.
Right? We have to be. That's just
Yeah.
biology, right?
Man, we're flying all
We're
over.
all
the place.
bitch made. Maybe that's what comes out of us, right? That little piece we get
Just
when we're,
shrugging
born,
that off.
when we're born into the world, right?
Yeah.
Bitch made for 9 months up in the womb, right? Bitch cared for, bitch fed.
Oh shit. Why he said anyways, I'm gone.
We tried, guys. We tried.
We tried.
I had to
It
go
didn't
there. I'm
work.
sorry. I had to go down that road.
I think.
I laugh to keep from crying sometimes.
Oh my God. So what? Oh wow, fuck. I don't even want to keep spreading off topic, but real quickly, what do you guys think about that? Did any of you guys hear about that pickup artist? That
Oh, I totally thought you were gonna say Ferguson or
No, I can give it two
the
shits.
New York guy. Oh no, we're not totally not going there. Okay, cool.
I mean that whole thing is so
Yeah,
fucking
right.
stupid. I just all of Facebook blew up with images.
Yeah,
and photos
I've been
and
on
this and
Facebook
that.
all day.
About what?
I'm like, look, if
Eric Garner, the guy that got choked in New York.
I put it like I don't even know.
The
about-
police didn't get the police officer that choked him, which is illegal, and that choking is illegal in New York. Didn't get indicted, so there's a lot of protests out there.
Here's the thing. If you walk up to a man with a gun who's literally hired and paid and trained to shoot you, it's his job, and he says, freeze, you're under arrest, and you walk up and you punch him, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I will never, I don't care how
Who
mad I
punched
am, the common sense will never leave me to go, hey, I think it's a good idea to go hit that fucking dude with the
Who
gun.
punched him?
Right.
They said that
No, that's not-
They
no,
hit
no.
him through the car, right? Through
No,
the window?
that's a totally different case. Eric Garner was a guy that was
Oh,
actually
I was talking about Ferguson thing.
The guy was good. No. Well, that's those facts. Those facts are a little bit shady.
Okay.
With the Ferguson thing, but at the end of the day, I think it's about human rights and people's rights. Cops don't have just this undeniable thing that to just go out and just shoot people for whatever reasons. They're trained. Police officers are trained for a reason. They're trained to deal with different situations for a reason because they are policing our streets. So they should definitely have more restraint and have more know-it-all to actually deal with different situations because they are trained that way. Why put officers in training at all if you're not training them for something?
Right.
And that's how I look at it. And these things that are brought up about the killings of unarmed black men, which is at an all-time high in recent years. It's why are we training these officers? Why are we paying taxes to put money into these systems to train officers to police our streets when they're not using their training? They're just going the other direction. So it's something that we as Americans have to deal with and get through.
Yeah.
And have to evolve and really have to evolve from. So it's part of our course on Modern Male Radio. Is everything about evolution and how we evolve. Our
I agree.
lives.
It's funny. I was just gonna tie that in. And it's funny because on Facebook I posted white people rioting and black people rioting, all of the different stuff. Like pretty much anything I found for or against, I posted it. And what it really boils down to is there was an oppression for a long time, and then the pendulum swung back in another direction, and now it's at the peak of that pendulum swing. Right. And it's gonna come back and settle in the middle, just like feminine rights.
It kind of never went away. We just have more of cameras out there to actually do things. It never really went away. And that's the point. As a black man, obviously, you deal with these things, and you constantly deal with these things. And I have, and many of my black friends have in America, and I like to go away from the black-white thing. I like to go to the American thing because it's actually an American issue. Mm-hmm. We all live in America, and we all deal with this in America. Whether you're a white guy being disgusted at looking at this happening, or a black guy going through it, it's an American thing. We're all Americans. We're all dealing with this, and it has everything to do with oppressing the psychology and the minds of Americans. Going through this, whether you're seeing it or dealing with it physically, it still hurts the mind, and it hurts our progression, and that's what it is. If we're going to progress as Americans together, we got to get through it as Americans.
This is one of the areas I think that social media actually helps a lot, and I always bring that up because I'm not really for or against social media. But it's funny because these issues are able to light like wildfire, and then they're able to come out and become very, very prevalent. It's like, oh, boom. And then all of a sudden there's an immediate social change. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I predicted this a few years ago, and I'm still waiting for it. But I think one day we might even vote based on like a like system. And it's like, here's the for, here's the against, here's the message board, here's what people are saying about it. Cool. Fucking, click, vote.
Right.
and I think that
that'd be nice.
That's how we're going to streamline the system. I think that that it seems so simple, and it's so simple that it actually seems like far-fetched. But I really feel like that's going to be the future.
Well, I don't know.
And how we determine social issues and social stuff. We put them out on these platforms, and we go, hey, how do we feel about this?
Right.
Well, yeah, we really need to harness our power as citizens of this country.
I agree.
And I think that's the main thing, is who are we voting for, who are we putting into office, whether it's in our small communities as mayors, as senators, as Congress people, to the larger to the larger nation. Who are we voting for? Who are we allowing to police our communities? If I'm in Ferguson and we have majority of black people, am I allowing a majority white police force, or majority,
that's a good point.
Majority white politicians to police us, right? Because do they understand this? Do they understand, the social conditions that we're in? Or are they coming from other areas into our social condition, judging that?
Yeah.
And trying to figure out why people are responding to certain things or acting a certain way without being in that situation.
That's a great point.
Putting the shoe on the other foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that you really have to have been there to understand things, and that it's quick. We go right back into Jesse. With you understanding such it's what you went through. I mean, people go through stuff all the time, and it's very, very easy to relate to people. I shouldn't say it's very, very easy to relate to people, but most people can go, oh, hey, you went through that thing. I kind of went through something similar, but I don't know anybody that went through something similar to what you went through.
Right.
And it's that specifically is very unique. Mm-hmm. What was it? 4 years of pain meds and your skin tightening.
Close to 5 or 6. Yeah.
Well, I think it's very unique to Jesse, but I think he said something on the last show. It kind of doesn't matter what you like. Everyone has their personal perspective on what they're going through and how hard it is.
But what did you gain from that?
What you have to deal with.
What did you gain from that specifically that you feel? Because I mean, there's general struggle and hardship and or just challenge, and then there's very specifically what you went through. So what do you feel like you grabbed from that, you pulled from that you're able to use when you're motivating people, or when you're what do you feel like the differences are?
Inner strength. You really find out what you're capable of, truthfully. Like your inner strength, what you're capable of creating and what you can fight through. And people are like, oh, I can't do that. I'm like, if you're left with a choice and it's either back or forward, you'll make a decision. And based off that, you will create something.
Yeah, and we talked about this last show, and it wasn't even your choice. You chose opt out, and it wouldn't let you opt out.
I opted out, and I had thumbtacks stuck in my foot. We talked about that. It was true.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I quit, and they're like, no,
No,
They're
you're not quitting.
You're here for a reason. It's like you're not stopping. They wouldn't let me. So, yeah, it's like everybody goes through those hard times, and you really, if it's your time to go, you're gonna go. If it's not, you're here for a purpose. Create that.
Now, specifically, when you were at that place, I mean, was it more of like okay, and you had to separate yourself, and then you kind of refocus that energy and tenaciously fought that defeatist attitude, or was it more of like a slow and steady, like everyday tiring?
Slow and steady. Slow and steady every day, tiring.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Trying to realize, like, what the hell am I here for? Like, what's going on? Yeah, it wasn't like, oh my God, it's a second chance, like, blow up. Like, this is like recreating, re-identifying who you are and completely growing as a new person.
Did you have a mantra or something that kind of kept you going, or
Not really.
no?
No.
See, I always just like anytime something would come up that was scary for me, I would say, I'd remind myself that like, you're not going to die, and if you do, you're going to go out like a man. You're going to go out trying. And that was kind of my mantra. It was like, the worst case scenario is that you die, and if you die trying. Everything else is good from there. And it's funny because I always ended up doing really well in scenarios where that came up. I'd be like, look, you could get embarrassed. And I just kind of laugh at myself beforehand, and I'd be like, this is going to be embarrassing as shit. And then I would jump, and it was usually good. But every time I walked into something where I was like, I got this, you just end up over there like, oh, my God, what happened?
Yeah, my mantra is, every day you're alive, you have a chance to make it better. When you're dead, you don't got to worry about it.
Right? Yeah. Might as well.
You all right? I'm like, yeah, right? Might as well try to make it better as long as you're alive, right?
Exactly.
It's better than dying and going, shit, I got to go do that
Well,
again.
you ain't got to worry about it at that point.
I should have, I could have, I would have.
Right?
Yeah.
Regret's a bitch.
Yeah.
Regret's a motherfucker.
It is, exactly. Yep.
Nobody likes regret. So is there anything about that whole thing that you actually regret?
I regret being in the place and time where I was and experiencing what I went through, but I can't change it, dude.
Is that regret though?
There's parts of it that I do regret. Like I do regret like being in that place and time. I chose to be with those people in that bar with those people.
But isn't that how it navigated you to this point?
It did, but I can't look back at it and go, you know what? I don't accept that. Like I have to grow. I have to learn that this was allowed to happen for me to move forward. Period. Done. Like you can't sit here and like mope over it. It's over. It's done.
Do you feel like there was ever a time or a point where you asked the universe or God or whatever for something, or for some, like, have you, because it feels to me like you're there, but you're not quite there, that you haven't found that revelation, so to speak, that like, oh shit moment where you're like, this is why all of that shit happened.
You know what? That moment has came by sort of, but it hasn't completely clarified, and it will. It will.
Is that the reason you have that little regret?
Probably. Right. There's been many times.
That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
There's been many times where I look at it and go, this is incredible. It's incredible. This would never happen. It wasn't for this, but it's still hard. It's still hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to work through that.
Still challenging.
Yeah, of course.
We stopped using that hard term. It's still challenging.
Right. It's still challenging.
There's nothing hard.
Well,
It's just challenging.
Well, I think we were talking about this after the last show, and we get outside, and Jesse he looks at me, and he goes, I'm going to be the next Tony Robbins, man. I'm going to get out there. I'm just going to inspire the world. He's like, this is what and all of a sudden it's funny because in here I saw you get, maybe like a 7 at max, and then out there it was like you're at an 11. And it was just simply talking about the idea of getting up on stage and sharing your stuff. Right. So that's what you're doing right now is actually motivational speaking. That's the focus.
That's one of the things that I'm working towards, yes.
Okay, awesome. So like, I'm sure that there are organizations out there like burn units. It's huge. I'm sure you could
There are burn units. There are other things too. I mean, it's not just about burns.
You can speak for anybody, but
it's about trials. People go through. It's about even college students.
But that would be an easy in, like an immediate one to kind of get your feet wet.
I think an easy in is just his story. You know what I'm saying? It's a trial that he's gone through.
That's true.
People can relate to. It's like, okay, this is something that he had to fight hard. There's that word hard. He had to fight to get through.
Fight tough.
Right.
And fight strong.
And if I'm in a situation like that, how does that personalize to me, and how can that help me? I think that's what he stands for.
Yeah.
I think that's who he is.
Yep.
Right now. That's what the situation turns you into, bro.
Gotta keep moving. Gotta keep moving forward, no matter what.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, I think that it'll be incredibly rewarding, you know, because like we were talking about this when you came in, that your friend sent you that kid's number, and he's been texting you about, you know, you're kind of helping some 12-year-old, right? Through
it's been through the same shit that I've been through,
and it's like,
so
not everybody's gonna have that fortitude, that mental strength, you know, that internal struggle.
Yeah.
And the fact that you did give up and it didn't work, like that just adds so much to the story. It's actually more inspiring.
Yeah, you tried to end it, but it
like
didn't.
he
but
tried
it didn't.
to quit. He tried to quit. He tried to give up, and it didn't work. I know.
I mean, you died and it brought you back to life, motherfucker. You're here for a reason.
Twice.
Twice, right?
Yeah.
Then you try to throw it all away, and it still came back. It's like the candle the trick candles that never blow out in the cake.
Don't. Okay. Yep.
Well, that's.
Then you finally kind of just laugh at the joke.
You
right?
work through it.
You kind of you try to blow these candles. You're like, oh, I get it.
I get
They're not gonna
it.
blow. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just kind of chill out and accept it and laugh
Accept
it off
it.
and go, okay, well, you know, this is the funny.
Keep moving
this
forward.
Is the funny part.
So again, where can people find you? Where can people get in contact with you? You know, your
People
movement.
can find me at Instagram, bonnicjesse.com.
Bionic.
Jesse, yes. And Jesse Sink on Facebook and Instagram. And Twitter is also Jesse Sink.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely, yeah.
We got to get you a website, man.
Yeah,
got it.
What's the title of the movie? The Real Bionic Man?
No,
I don't know.
no.
Something
Actually,
Bionic.
it's Out of the Ashes is what we have stuck on.
Out of
right
the
now.
Ashes?
I can't give too much out. Yeah.
That's actually that is a movie title before.
Is it?
Yeah, Out of
It's
the
not-
Ashes.
It's not
Yeah,
done, it's not
it was
done
about
yet,
it was
so-
about Marshalls.
Yeah.
It was about Marshall football team.
Yeah.
From the Ashes. Yeah, from the Ashes, something like that.
From the
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, sounded
But
yeah,
it's- we got-
something
we
with
got-
Ashes.
we
Yeah, Out
got
of the Ashes.
I
for
don't
us, so-
remember.
Yeah, the Marshall football team. All those
Yeah.
I thought
guys
that
that
was
died in
just
the plane crash.
I thought that was just We Are Marshall.
No, that was the chant.
No, that's the name of the
It was
movie.
something. I'm like, it was something.
No, that was the name of the movie.
That was
We
the
Are
name of the
Marshall.
movie, but I'm Out of the Ashes. We gotta Google that because I think that's a title already.
Well, there you go.
Hold on. I'll get this right now. Hold on.
Right, someone get that. For some
That's
reason,
it. It's
for
out
some
of
reason,
the Ashes.
for some reason, I remember Out of the Ashes
Yeah.
as being in a movie. Maybe it was the narrator, that said something like that. Out of the ashes we come. Maybe it's a poem that they wrote.
2003 film with what is it? It was directed by Joseph Sargent.
Is that a title?
Out of the Ashes.
Out of the Ashes is a made-for-television movie that was released by Showtime. It is a dramatization of the life of Holocaust concentration camp survivor
Okay.
Gisela Pearl.
Maybe it was that. Maybe I watch a lot of movies.
I believe- yeah,
Sometimes they blend together. Sometimes I watch 3 or 4 a day, right?
No, I got you. For sure.
So now that we settled that,
That's good.
no, I love that. Like we could call it like Bionic Ash or something.
Bonnet Jesse.
Bionic Jesse. Just call it Bionic Jesse, right?
Yeah, I like that too. It's actually
The
really
life
good.
of the life of
Done.
Jesse Sink.
That's it.
The
Yeah.
life of Jesse Sink.
No, the title is always up for change, so we can always change that. But that's what we
Yeah.
have it on as a written script right now. So
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
I hope the
Working title.
best of
Working
success
title.
with that
Yeah,
one.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Are you gonna act in it too? You gonna be the guy?
At the end of it, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like the hitch at the. Or wait, what was that? What was that? No, the Pursuit of Happiness. where
Hey,
they
brother.
walk
Hey,
out.
Pursuit of
hey,
Happiness
you
when
got
it comes
two
to the
actors.
end.
You got 2 actors here. We got.
I know.
I'm
Right.
putting my
Right.
I'm putting my bid in now. You know. I could be the burned Jesse.
There's
the
no
burned
excuse.
the burned Jesse. You know. I know you didn't have any hair. I'm like the burned Jesse. Can I be the burned Jesse?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's perfect. I like that a lot. Oh, that's fun.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, anybody else? Where can people find you?
I have a website.
Yeah. tell us.
www.paulina, Paulina, Guitron.com.
All right.
Awesome.
If you speak Spanish, you can read it there in Spanish, and you can also read it in English.
There
Cool.
it is.
Boom.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us at methodologyofthemodernmale.com. And
Modern Male Radio.
you can find us at latalkradio.com/jared.php. You can find us on Twitter at Male Methodology. You can find us on Instagram at Methodology of the Modern Male. You can find us on Facebook, motherfucker. We everywhere.
And you can find me where you can find
everywhere.
him.
If you can Google my name or his name, you can
just
find
quit.
us.
You
motherfucker.
just find us.
I don't know. I only got through 3. I got an About Me page. I got a fucking, like, my webnet is massive. I got 2 Google Plus pages. I'm like, what's up? So, yeah, all this stuff will be posted online. Look out for our YouTube channel.
Google Sydney Hall, SYDNEYHALL. You can find me.
Yes, and we're going to have some awesome new content on our YouTube channel. So look for that. It's Modern Male Radio, or just Google Jerod Zavistoski or Methodology of the Modern Male. They all come up, and we're going to have some awesome extra content. We're going to start doing follow-up interviews with all of our guests because sometimes we just don't get enough in.
Time, yes.
So
Amen.
we would like to actually have audio and video interviews with our guests after the fact. And we're going to start putting out some free content. So look forward to this for the new year. You're going to get some new dating tips. You're going to get some new updates. It's going to be really, really cool because we're actually going to be giving away a lot of free information on dating. So that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Modern Male
have a good
Radio.
night.
Always
Love you
evolve.
guys.
Thank you.
You're listening to Modern Male Radio with Jerod Zavistoski and Sydney Hall, right here on LA Talk Radio.